Sometimes movies can be effective conduits to raise awareness about societal issues, like Philadelphia, the first mainstream film to acknowledge the AIDS epidemic, or The Big Short, which broke down the financial crisis in hilarious layman's terms, or Concussion, which should have given you yet another reason to feel guilty about still watching the NFL every Sunday. In that same spirit, there's been a number of movies in the last decade that have tackled the nightmare-inducing issue of human trafficking. The most obvious is probably going to be Taken. You know, when Liam Neeson plays an ex-CIA agent with a
very particular set of skills,
who rescues his daughter from an Albanian sex trafficking ring. There's also the Lifetime miniseries with the not-so-subtle title of Human Trafficking, in which Mira Sorvino plays an ICE agent who goes undercover to take down a Russian trafficking ring. There's also The Whistleblower, where Rachel Weisz plays an American working as a UN peacekeeper in Bosnia who, yep, you guessed it, uncovers a sex trafficking ring. Why are they all cult rings? I bring this rough topic up now because before he left, Obama declared January National Human Trafficking Awareness Month. And since Trump hasn't rescinded that yet, seems like a good time to raise awareness on a topic that isn't widely understood. Because while these movies and others like it have shed more light on the issue, they also kinda reinforce some myths and stereotypes about trafficking. We're gonna talk about 5 of them now. Yeah, this episode's gonna be a little dark, so I'm gonna throw in some baby animal pictures to get you through. Myth 1, human trafficking means sex trafficking. Myth 2, only women and girls are victims and survivors. All 3 films I mentioned only show sex trafficking, and all the victims are only women and girls. But labor trafficking, think slave labor, also falls under the term human trafficking. And worldwide, experts believe that there are even more situations of that than sex trafficking. It exists in very above-ground legal businesses like agriculture, manufacturing, construction, hotels, restaurants, even, and sorry ladies, nail salons. Additionally, men and boys are also targets, as are transgender people. Myth 3, it's a foreign problem. Not surprisingly, all 3 of these movies depict the Americans as heroes, and the traffickers as Albanians, Arabs, and Russians. But this isn't just a foreign problem. People are being trafficked in the US, there are Americans who traffic people, and Americans who are being trafficked, all at alarming rates. Myth 4, victims are kidnapped by strangers. Another assumption is that victims are always or often kidnapped or physically forced into the situation. In reality, most traffickers already know their victims and trick, defraud, manipulate, and threaten them into an exploitative situation. In fact, different social media platforms have been exposed as places where recruitment can often start. Looking at you, Facebook. Oh, I hope they don't take this video down. And as horrifying as it is to think about, many survivors have been trafficked by people they trusted, like romantic partners, family members, even parents. Myth 5, we need to rescue them. You might assume that a victim of trafficking will ask for help if given the chance, that they are looking to be rescued. That is sometimes the case. More often, however, people stay in these situations for reasons that are much more complicated, including being so manipulated that they don't consider themselves to be under the control of another person. Furthermore, with all these movies ending once the victims are rescued,
I told you I would find you.
They make it seem like that's the end of the story. All done here. What they don't show is how hard it is for survivors to recover and return to a stable life. The reason why perpetuating only certain stories of human trafficking is an issue is because it can center the attention and resources only towards a certain type of exploited person and inform theories of how to fix the problem. Not that movies influence public policy per se, but current anti-trafficking laws and advocacy are centered primarily on sex trafficking, women and girls, and follow this rescue narrative, leaving prevention and recovery services with the short end of the stick. But there are some organizations out there trying to alleviate that, like Annie Cannon's, a Bay Area NGO that helps trafficking survivors gain a sustainable income through training them in the most Bay Area skill possible, coding. Like most good startups, they recognized a gap in what kind of job skills survivors had access to, like jewelry making, and recognized none of those skills would provide enough money to keep them from being super vulnerable. Annie Cannon's doesn't just train students, they also provide long-lasting employment by employing graduates and selling their web and mobile app development services. Forget about Squarespace, you should hire them to build your next website. So, I leave you with, it's good to watch movies that also teach you about hard issues. Just remember that these stories are meant to entertain, and that While they may tell someone's story, they don't tell the whole story or the only story. I'm Kristin Brey, and thanks for watching Below the Fold. Please like, comment, and share to spread more awareness about this issue, and you can subscribe for weekly videos like these at www.belowthefold.co.